Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Piper beat Sam during the events of Cobra Kai Season 4? So in this timeline, the events of Cobra Kai Season 4 would still happen. Johnny and Daniel would still go their separate ways, and each dojo would prepare for the Yell Valley. Eagle Fang would still want to get some female students. Johnny would still try to convince Piper to join Eagle Fang, but much like in the original timeline, Piper would still join Cobra Kai, so Devin would still join Eagle Fang in this timeline, and the events of Cobra Kai Season 4 would carry on. The three dojos would train for the Yell Valley, and the night of the Yell Valley, Cobra Kai would still be in first place after the skills competition, and the fights would stay the same. Cobra Kai would use a combination of Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai, and they would make it to the qualifying rounds. Piper and Sam would still fight, and Piper would score the first point, but in this timeline Piper wouldn't tell Sam that Robbie told them that Miyagi-Do was for defense only, so Sam wouldn't know to use Eagle Fang, and she would still continue fighting defensively. It would be a close match between Piper and Sam, but Piper would get the final point, and she would beat Sam in this timeline, so Sam would be eliminated. Cobra Kai would be happy. Even if Miyagi-Do wins the boys division, Cobra Kai would still win because they would have the most points. Sam would be mad and she would walk off, and Miguel would follow her. Sam would say that she blames Daniel for only allowing her to use Miyagi-Do, that maybe if Johnny and Daniel had stayed together, she would have used both styles and probably won. And Miguel would start comforting Sam. Robbie would still fight Kenny. Eli would still fight Miguel, but Miguel would still be injured. And since Sam wasn't fighting, she would see Miguel leave, so Sam would follow Miguel home. Miguel would start packing his things. Sam would knock on Miguel's door, and she would ask what Miguel was doing. Miguel would say that this was something that he needed to do. He needed to find out who he was, and Sam would understand what Miguel was saying, so she would offer to go with Miguel. So they would take Sam's car to Daniel's house, and Sam would pack her things. So Sam and Miguel would both end up going to Mexico in this timeline. And much like in the original timeline, Eli would still defeat Robbie in this timeline, and he would be the Boys All Valley champion. Piper and Tori would both make it to the finals, but Tori would beat Piper in this timeline without cheating, and she would be the Girls All Valley champion, so Cobra Kai would win overall. The season would still end the same way. Terry would still betray Kreese. Robbie would still go with Johnny. Johnny and Daniel would both find out that Sam and Miguel had run away, so Johnny and Daniel would decide to go to Mexico to try to find them, and Robbie would go with them. Daniel would be happy to see Robbie, so Daniel wouldn't get chosen in this timeline. And that is where I'm gonna end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Piper beat Sam during the events of Cobra Kai Season 4? Let me know in the comments below. All members have access to emojis that can be used in comments and live streams. This isn't mandatory. This is only something extra. If you want to support the channel even more, YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.